There is a quiet house in Germantown, Tennessee that holds a secret most people never notice. No gates, no plaques. No warning that inside, one of the greatest voices in American music took his final breath. Bobby Blue Bland lived his last days here, not as a superstar, but as a man carrying decades of triumph, loss, and unspoken pain. This isn't just a tour of a house. It's a journey into the final chapter of blues royalty. Behind these walls lie stories fans were never meant to hear about loyalty, exploitation, quiet suffering, and a legacy far larger than fame. Stay with us because once you step inside Bobby Blue Bland's world, you'll never hear the blues the same way again. Bobby Blue Bland was born Robert Calvin Brooks in the small rural town of Barrettville, Tennessee. His biological father, I.J. Brooks, left shortly after his birth, leaving Bobby to grow up without a father figure. His mother later remarried a man named Leroy Bridgeforth, known simply as Leroy Bland, and Bobby took his stepfather's last name. That name would eventually become legendary, though no one could have imagined it at the time. School never shaped Bobby Blue Bland's future. Leaving in the 3rd grade, he traded classrooms for cotton fields and survival. Unable to read or write, he relied on instinct, memory, and a remarkable ear for music. Guided by local musician Mutt Piggy, young Bobby sang on street corners for spare change. His early songs weren't blues but hillbilly tunes drifting from the Grand Ole Opry, sung simply to escape a life of exhausting labor. At 17, Bobby's mother knew staying in Rosemark, Tennessee, meant a life of endless labor. They moved to Memphis, the vibrant heart of the Mississippi Delta, bursting with promise. Bobby worked tirelessly washing dishes, delivering groceries, fixing engines. Earning a driver's license changed everything, giving him freedom, steady income, and his first real path toward opportunity. To survive in Memphis, Bobby Blue Bland took whatever work he could find. By day, he parked cars at the historic Peabody Hotel, watching a world of wealth pass by while he stood quietly on the sidelines. He drove laborers from the city to cotton fields in Mississippi and Arkansas, and when money ran short, he even chauffeured customers to local bootleggers. Driving didn't just pay the bills. It placed Bobby at the center of Memphis life, where struggle and music constantly intersected. No matter how long the day lasted, music remained his anchor. Bobby sang gospel in church and joined the Miniatures, a vocal group modeled after the Pilgrim Travelers. He studied the voices of Ira Tucker and the Dixie Hummingbirds, the Soul Stirrers, and the Mighty Clouds of Joy. Learning control and emotional discipline. When night fell, Bobby drifted toward Beale Street, unlike many young singers chasing raw blues. His heroes were Nat King Cole, Charles Brown, Amos Milburn, T-Bone Walker, Jimmy Witherspoon, and Louis Jordan. He wanted elegance, not noise, emotion without chaos. On Beale Street, Bobby fell in with a loose collective known as the Beale Streeters. The group included B.B. King, Johnny Ace, Roscoe Gordon, Junior Parker, and others who would later define modern blues and soul. B.B. King, 5 years older, became both mentor and inspiration. Contrary to legend, Bobby was not a servant. He helped however he could because he wanted to learn. At first, Bobby struggled. His timing was inconsistent. His voice leaned heavily on falsetto borrowed from B.B. King. He knew he wasn't ready, but he kept stepping forward. One of his boldest moves was performing at amateur night at the Palace Theater, hosted by Rufus Thomas of WDIA Radio. The crowd was ruthless. Performers were booed, mocked, and sometimes chased off stage by a character known as the Lord High Executioner, who fired blank gunshots at failed acts. Bobby won multiple times, not for money, but for visibility. Those appearances led to his first recordings between 1950 and 1951 for small labels like Chess Records, Modern Records, and Sun Records. The songs went nowhere commercially, but his voice caught attention. Eventually, Duke Records signed him. Just as momentum built, Bobby was drafted into the United States Army. During his service, he joined special services, performing for troops and studying smoother vocalists like Tony Bennett, Perry Como, and Billy Eckstine. By the time he returned, his voice was changing. When Bobby came back to Memphis in 1955, Duke Records was under new control. Donald DeRoby, a powerful and intimidating businessman, guided Bobby's hand as he signed a contract he could not read. The deal paid him only half a cent per record and handed publishing rights to Roby under false names like Dedrick Malone. Yet Bobby remained loyal. Roby filled a paternal role Bobby had lacked, and loyalty mattered more than money. More importantly, Roby recognized Bobby's potential. That potential exploded in 1957 with Farther On Up the Road. From that moment forward, Bobby Blue Bland entered an extraordinary creative run. Songs like Little Boy Blue, I Smell Trouble, Cry, 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 Ain't That Loving, You, Turn On Your Love Light, and his definitive Stormy Monday followed. Albums such as Two Steps from the Blues, Here's the Man, Call on Him, and The Soul of the Man became classics. The key architect behind this sound was arranger Joe Scott. From 1958 to 1968, Scott shaped every detail: the horn-driven arrangements, the phrasing, the discipline. He fused big band brass inspired by Count Basie and Lionel Hampton with blues guitar from players like Wayne Bennett, Pat Hare, and Clarence Hollowman. Under Scott's guidance, Bobby developed his signature vocal weapon, the squall, inspired by sermons from Reverend C. L. Franklin, father of Aretha Franklin. It wasn't shouting. It was controlled emotional release. Bobby once said he wanted to see what would happen if he removed the growl from blues and replaced it with a mellow moan. The women loved it. That was all he needed to know. Throughout the 1960s, Bobby Blue Bland quietly became one of the decade's most successful R&B artists, scoring the fourth highest number of charting singles. He topped charts with I Pity the Fool, That's the Way Love Is, and Ain't Nothing You Can Do. Yet he was rarely marketed to teenagers or mainstream pop audiences. His label focused on mature black listeners, especially women, and that loyalty sustained him. He toured relentlessly, performing over 300 shows a year, never abandoning juke joints, county fairs, or small clubs. When Duke Records was sold to MCA Records in 1973, critics claimed Bobby's best years were behind him. They were wrong. Albums like California Blues and Dreamer produced hits such as This Time I'm Gone for Good and I Wouldn't Treat a Dog. He reunited with B.B. King for acclaimed collaborative albums and continued evolving without losing his identity. In 1985, Bobby found a final creative home at Malaco Records in Jackson, Mississippi. The label focused on Southern black audiences and treated Bobby like family. He recorded 12 albums there, earned 7 Grammy nominations, and released Midnight Run, which stayed on the charts for over 18 months. In his final years, Bobby Blue Bland lived quietly in Germantown, Tennessee, choosing peace over applause. He listened to gospel, played Nat King Cole, and carried himself with the same dignity that defined his voice. On June 23, 2013, he passed away at 83, leaving behind a legacy that still heals hearts. He once said he just wanted to help people through sad moments and happy ones, and he did. If this story moved you, honor his legacy. Like this video, share it with fellow music lovers, and subscribe for more untold stories of legends who changed music forever. Thanks for watching.